Today, we're digging into a huge question at the heart of business. How does the very thing that makes a company a winner today so often lead to its downfall tomorrow? We're going to break down the idea of the ambidextrous organization to see how the smartest companies out there manage to win both right now and way into the future. Okay, let's just dive right in with a puzzle that probably keeps a lot of leaders up at night. Why do so many huge, successful, dominant companies eventually fail? I mean, think about the giants who perfected film photography, or the company that used to rule video rentals. They were on top of the world, and now they're cautionary tales. The reason why is what's so fascinating. So this PhD research by Justin Jansen, which is what we're breaking down here, it really gets to the core of this dilemma. And it points to two opposing but equally dangerous traps that even the best companies can fall right into. So on one side, you've got what's called the competence trap. This is when a company gets so good at what it already does, so efficient, so perfectly optimized, that it becomes totally rigid. It just can't adapt when the world inevitably changes. And then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have the failure trap. And this is a trap of just constant searching. This is the company that's always chasing the next shiny object, endlessly experimenting but never actually cashing in on any of its great ideas to build a solid business. Okay, so if playing it safe is a trap, but taking way too many risks is also a trap, what in the world are you supposed to do? Well, the research points to one single, really powerful solution. The secret, it turns out, is to become what researchers call an ambidextrous organization. It's just like a person who's ambidextrous can use their right and left hands with equal skill. Well, an ambidextrous organization can master two totally different things at the very same time. And here's the more official definition from the research. It's the ability to be incredibly efficient with your current business, managing today's demands, while at the same time being super adaptable and innovative for whatever's coming next. It's really about being built to win the entire marathon, not just the next sprint. Now, to really wrap our heads around this idea, we need to break it down into two core activities. And these two things are always in tension with each other: exploitation and exploration. All right, first up is exploitation. The best way to think about this is perfecting your current game. It's all about refinement, efficiency, execution, just getting better, faster, and cheaper at serving the customers you already have. It's about squeezing every last drop of value from what you already know how to do really well. And then you have exploration, and this is the complete polar opposite. This is the search for what's next. It's all about variation, taking risks, and pure blue sky innovation. It's about discovering brand new products, finding new markets, and coming up with entirely new ways of doing things for customers who, they might not even exist yet. And you can really see the difference laid out here. Just look at the contrast in the payoff. Exploitation gives you those short-term, predictable, reliable wins. But exploration, it's aiming for a payoff that's way off in the distance and totally uncertain. So one is about refining what you know, and the other is all about discovering what you don't. They are just fundamentally different animals. And here's the crucial takeaway from all this. You can't just pick one. Any company that truly wants to survive in the long run has to become a master of both. So this brings us to the real multi-million-dollar question, right? And it's the core insight of this entire thesis. What is the best way to actually structure a company to do both of these things at once? How do you manage that paradox in the real world? How can you demand relentless efficiency and encourage wild experimentation without the entire organization just tearing itself apart? So the research looked at a ton of different companies, and it uncovered a super clear pattern among the ones that were the most successful and high-performing. And you know what? It's probably not what you'd think. It's not about finding some kind of wishy-washy middle ground or forcing everybody to be a jack of all trades. The key finding is actually surprisingly simple. The most effective companies, they don't try to mix oil and water. They get their balance not by blending these two activities together, but by pulling them apart. They separate them. And this is exactly how they do it. They create totally separate teams or even whole divisions, and each one is perfectly designed for its mission. You've got your exploitative units. They're bigger, they're centralized, they're all about efficiency, and they have a tight culture. And then over here, you have the exploratory units, small, decentralized, with a loose, risk-taking culture that's purely focused on innovation. It's like they build two totally different kinds of engines for two very different jobs. So now that we know structure is the key, what's the big takeaway from all this? What does this mean for anyone who's trying to build an organization that lasts? At the end of the day, long-term success isn't about some vague idea of compromise. It's a result of deliberate, conscious organizational design. It's about building a structure that actually protects both extremes, the relentless efficiency of the factory and the creative chaos of the lab, and lets them both thrive side by side. And that really leaves us with the final big question that you should take away from all this. Just take a look at your own team or your own company. Is it actually designed to cash in on its current success, while also, seriously, exploring where its future really lies?